Each Jewish holiday seems to have with it its own specific action correlating to that holiday. Of course, Rosh Hashanah with the shofar, Sukkot, the lulav, and the esrog, the waving of it, or sitting in a sukkah. Pesach, of course, lifting of the matzah, leaning to the left, or the 4 cups of wine. Each holiday with its own certain action. What's that action that we do on Yom Kippur that makes it specially unique to Yom Kippur? Of course, we know things that we're not allowed to do, that we're supposed to refrain from doing. Eating, of course, taking warm baths, rubbing oil, wearing leather, things we can't do. But what can we do? Well, the one thing it seems that we do a lot of is banging on our chest. What's all this banging? Starting right after Kol Nidre with Mariv, we bang Shachris and Musaf and Mincha and the Elah. We're banging away al chet on this sin we're trying to get forgiveness on, and on this, and all these things we're trying to admit that we did. What's all the banging for? And it reminded of a story of a wealthy man who had a son who was idle in his mid-20s, not employed, getting frustrated. His father sent him on an errand one day to the silversmith to take a broken, bent out candelabra. He says, get it fixed. So, of course, the son obeyed his father, went to the store, and immediately the silversmith took the candelabra with a hammer on an anvil and started banging away, and told the son, come back in a week and make sure you bring cash or credit card. The son left sort of inspired, like, wow, this is an easy business. Told his father, let's go to Home Depot. I think I have a new business for myself. Let's buy a hammer, an anvil, get a storefront, put up a big sign, bring me all your broken vessels, your gold, your silver, and I'll get it fixed. And it worked, and people started coming by the store, dropping off their kiddush cups and menorah and candelabras. And a week later, he said, bring your money, and I'll have your vessels all ready for you. And they would come back a week later, and they would see all their vessels all flattened against the wall. They were angry and upset and says, you didn't fix it. And he says, well, I just did exactly what the silversmith did to ours. And his father explained, no, you don't understand. And what the silversmith did, step one was the banging away. Of course, you have to flatten it out to get it all straight. But that's when the real work begins. That's when you begin to rebend it into its original form, and polish it, and elevate it, and get it looking like it's brand new again. That's the work. That's the real work. It all begins with the banging, but that's only step one. Here on Yom Kippur, for us, the banging is a superficial action, so to speak. The real work is in our heart. The real work is, are we going to bend our heart? Are we going to bend our ear and change this year? And are we going to become a new vessel? Clearly, we're all broken vessels. That's why we're human. That's why we have a Yom Kippur. To come to the silversmith, of course, into the sanctuary, coming into Shul, the sanctuary, you come into the silversmith and say, please help us. We're all bent. We're all broken. With the real work, it starts with the banging. But are we going to polish it, and are we going to rebend it and have that softness? The image of Yom Kippur, as we read in the Parsha of Achrei Moses, these two goats. One goat lives in the service of Hashem. It's called a Seir LaHashem. And the other a Seir LaAzazel. And this Seir, as translated as a goat, gets thrown over a cliff. It turns its back against Hashem, turns its back to the sanctuary, decides to be obstinate, stubborn, and live a life according to its own selfishness and passionate laws that it wants to pursue. And for us, as we bang away at this Yom Kippur, is this going to be another holiday that we're going to sort of toss off the cliff, that we're going to do, yes, like this young man did, the first step. But to be a real silversmith, we have to actually do the work. To do the work of polishing our kalim, our vessels, bending it back in its original form. And of course, the action there is to rededicate ourselves to a life of Torah, learn more mitzvahs, work on our ben adam lechavero, with our wives, with our children, with our parents, our friends, our community. New projects are going to elevate our branches, to fix them up, to make them strong for the upcoming year. Wish everybody Gemar Chasima Tova, that we should all remember the story of the silversmith, that we should be able to polish our branches and make it a shining year. Gemar Chasima Tova.